Working with 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎, Michelangelo studied the basics of painting, such as how to mix colors and prepare a canvas. 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎 was working on a series of frescoes at the time. A fresco is a large-scale painting, usually done on a wall or ceiling, that is created by a specific technique using plaster. Michelangelo probably learned how to work in this medium from 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎. Later in life, Michelangelo would say that 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎 hadn't taught him anything. He even claimed that he had never been 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎's apprentice. He wanted people to think that he had learned everything on his own. But 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎 had been helpful to Michelangelo. He introduces him to someone important, someone who would change his life. Lorenzo de' Medici was the most powerful man in Florence. He loved art, literature, and music. Lorenzo, known as Lorenzo the Magnificent, knew that Florence had many painters but not many sculptors. In 1490, he asked the 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎 to send over a few apprentices who might be interested in learning to sculpt statues from marble. Lorenzo had a garden filled with antique sculptures for young artists to study, and his staff included Bertardo di Grafani, who had been trained by Donatello, the last great sculptor from Florence. 𝕽𝖆𝖎𝖎 sent both Francisco Guarnesi and Michelangelo to Lorenzo. Michelangelo immediately became fascinated with the art of sculpting and began to visit the Medici garden as often as he could. He made copies of some of the pieces he saw there. Lorenzo the Magnificent was impressed by Michelangelo's work and asked to speak with Lodovico about Michelangelo's future. He wanted the young artist to move into the Medici place and study sculpture full-time. But Lodovico didn't want his son to become a sculptor. He thought a sculptor was no better than a simple stone cutter. It would disgrace the family for Michelangelo to make his living that way. Lodovico couldn't ignore a request from a Medici though, and he finally went to meet him. Lorenzo said that he would treat Michelangelo like a son and help him become a great artist. In exchange, he offered Lodovico any job he wanted in Florence. Lodovico only asked for a low-level class job. He still didn't believe a plurality should have to work. Michelangelo was embarrassed that his father did not choose a more important job. Lodovico had missed a great opportunity. Michelangelo was different from his father. He wanted to be important, and he never wanted to miss a great opportunity. Chapter 2: Renaissance Man. During Michelangelo's lifetime, Florence was the center of artistic growth and achievement. At Lorenzo the Magnificent's house, Michelangelo listened to philosophers and writers talk, and he mingled with other artists. This period of artistic and scientific importance is known as the Renaissance. Life at the Medici home opened up a whole new world for Michelangelo. In 1492, Lorenzo de' Medici died. Michelangelo returned to his father's house. Soon after that, he was offered the chance to carve a wooden crucifix for a church called Santo Spirito. The church also had a hospital where they treated poor people. Michelangelo wanted to learn more about the human body. He asked the hospital if he could dissect or cut open to examine bodies that weren't claimed by family members of patients who had died, and they agreed. Now he was able to study how muscles connected to one another and how they looked when they were scratched, tightened, or twisted when in motion. Michelangelo used his valuable knowledge to make these sketches and sculptures more realistic. Florence was supposed to be a republic, a city run by the people. But for decades, it had really been ruled by the Medici family. In 1494, the people of Florence rose up against Piero de' Medici, Lorenzo's son. Michelangelo left Florence and went to the city of Bologna. For the next year, he stayed with a nobleman there and sculpted a few small pieces for a local church. When he heard that the Medici family had fled Florence, Michelangelo decided it was safe to return home. The Renaissance, 13,000s to 16,000s. The Renaissance, a word that means rebirth, began in Italy in the 1300s. The Middle Ages had been a miserable time in Europe, but then interest in art, literature, music, science, inventions, and architecture started to blossom. People who had become wealthy from international trade and banking, a separate economic and political rebirth, had extra money and time. Many became very interested in the classic arts and literature from ancient Greece and Rome. Wealthy families began to collect the works of the great ancient writers and artists. They also used their money to support living artists, writers, and musicians who were inspired by their rediscovery of these civilizations.